Hey everybody, how's it going? Nasal Cactus here, coming at you again with another Destiny video. So this is day one. We are off on our journey to hopefully get better at Destiny, although it will probably all be in vain. That was a really depressing way to start this video. So starting off today, the two videos for you, two different games. I started off one, wanted to get things off on the right foot. So this is an elimination match that I played with my buddies Red and Pav, and in this one we did just really well. It helped, I think, that one of these guys on the other team was AFK, so that is a bonus. But we just swept them, spoilers. And I wanted to just share it with you. It's some fun gameplay. It's a good way to kind of showcase what I need to be doing in Destiny versus the second video of what I am still doing in Destiny and hopefully will improve. The first thing I do want to point out though is I think that in my last video I talked about using a loadout of Ace of Spades, Praetor's Revenge, and Tomorrow's Answer. And if you know anything about the guns in Destiny, you can already tell that the Praetor's Revenge is not a part of that mix anymore. This came about after some playthroughs where Praetor's is fine, but it just started to lose its appeal, and I finally started to pay attention to the rolls on my guns and put on the short gaze sight on my 1,000-yard stare, and then I also put on I can't remember, I think it's rifled barrel, I could be wrong, but it's super stable, has great target acquisition on it now. And I feel like a lot of my shots are just better with this gun. So that's an improvement. That's something that I definitely feel more confident using that gun now. I definitely also feel a lot more confident using the Ace of Spades now. I feel like my skill level has gone up with it a little bit, and that makes me feel pretty good. It was a learning curve, and this whole thing is going to be a learning curve. And even now, there are still a lot of things that I should be doing better, and I am hoping to become better at. Elimination, this was just kind of a quick, fun run through for us, and I definitely can tell that there is improvement in my skill level so far. Not that you can tell from any of this because I'm not really doing anything, but it was a good game, and it showcases just how I should be playing a little bit more defensively in certain situations. As somebody that's not as skilled as Josh and Pav, or Red and Pav, my skill set is a bit more in the backup, moral support, spiritual guide, that sort of thing. Also, I feel like I'm pretty damn good at callouts, so that's a skill. But yeah, so this was just like I said, a quick one, and I also wanted to showcase it just because I got a double exotic drop. What? And that turned into a Plan C and a Bad Juju, neither of which I had, and both dropped at 310, so that was pretty awesome. Here I just wanted to show everybody, this is my destinytracker.com, just stats. I'm not going to go through it bit by bit, but just the two that I really wanted to be aware of were the monthly stats and the daily tracking. I'll let you kind of go back and look at that if you would like, but if you really want to take a look at all of the different stats. Those two in particular, my monthly tracking is up, in case you saw in the screenshot. My daily tracking is down. So I think moving forward, the tracking numbers are going to be the two things that I focus on personally the most. KD in this game is probably the easiest thing to keep track of and do something about. But going forward, there were a couple of things in particular that I wanted to focus on a lot more and just these are the two things that I think will help make me a better Destiny player in general. The first of which is super usage. In this video, I'm running the Golden Gun, and in other games that I played on this day, which is today, the 23rd of December, in case anybody was curious, I ran Blade Dancer later in the day. I thought, oh, well, I'm going to play this. Maybe I can get close enough to people. We played some control matches and stuff, and it seemed like it would be a better super to run in that situation. Also, in case you're curious, just for shits and grins, I ran Last Word in this video because this other team was using it, and I was getting really pissed that they were good with it, so I decided to just, you know, give them a taste of their own medicine. Super usage has been a tough thing for me lately. I've been really gun shy about it because I feel like my timing is just so bad. I'll use it and then die immediately. And this is something that I think that I need to just be better about paying attention to the duration of supers and being aware of how their energy is used so that I can get to the enemies in a timely fashion and be able to use the super to the best of its abilities. I also have just had some bad, I mean, it's bad luck, I guess, on my part, but it's skill on the part of the other people playing against me. You know, I'll pop a super and die almost right afterward. And hunters, I feel like, are especially vulnerable. I don't know why I feel that way. Mostly because I've been Titan smashed and hammered, and you know, Nova bombs can just decimate you from far away, and shock locks even can really mess you up with landfall before you even get a chance to do anything. Golden guns, if you use them right, I feel like they can be pretty deadly because they can be used at such range that it's a huge benefit for you. But yeah, I mean, I've just had some bad luck lately. I feel like I've just done some stupid stuff. I popped them at the wrong times. But that is I hope, a good transition into the other part of what I would like to do to make myself a better Destiny player, is just be smarter. You know, so much of this game is being mentally smarter than mentally smarter. That's a great way to phrase it. It's about just being more aware of what's going on around you than the other team, and being smarter about how you move together as a team. And call outs, I mean, are a huge thing. I think I'm pretty good at them, like I said, but it can be tough to play this game by yourself and not know what's going on. I mean, you have to, when you're trying to piece it together by yourself, it's a lot more difficult. But I do think that just in general, being a smarter Destiny player is the biggest challenge I'm going to face. And what I mean by that goes hand in hand with the supers, but it also comes down to things like this in salvage, you know, and most PvPs, when to push things like the objective, when to push things like the enemy's heavy ammo, when to go for the revive versus running off on your own. You know, that's stuff that is going to take time to learn, but it's invaluable in the long run. I think along with that learning process, skill level will come along at the same time, I hope. But like right here, this is a perfect situation. So I knew that my teammates were down, and there was no way I was going to get the revive on either of them from so far away. So I kept telling them, revive, 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 get the heavy, and I'm waiting and waiting for Pav to get it, and then I grabbed it, and they immediately get killed. Now, fortunately, I managed to team wipe here with my rockets, but I mean, this was a miscommunication from the get-go, because there was no point where we said get it without us, whatever, and so there was a bit of a breakdown on everybody's part right there. But you know, it's understanding how fast the other team can get from their rockets to our rockets, Is it worth it for me to grab them? Things like that. It's a Destiny IQ that I hope to improve. And I do think the skill level comes along with that, because you learn things like sightlines, you learn things like ranges of weapons, you know, because so much of it still is like, oh my god, how did he manage to shotgun me from that far away, or whatever. And it seems like it's lag based, even though, I mean, I'm sure that like a fair percentage of things in this game are lag based, considering there are no dedicated servers. But I shouldn't be dependent on that excuse. It shouldn't be, oh, well, I'm terrible at this, so the game is obviously lagging or broken. Because I don't believe in that mindset. I think, I mean, well, this is getting into a philosophical statement about myself, but you know, it's personal accountability. And my group and I will raid together, and even just last night we did a raid, and there were a couple of times where I just fucked up. I just straight up messed something up, forgot to pay attention to a timer on the aura, or I forgot to stay away from a door with enemies, and it hurt us or caused us to wipe. And it's just small stupid stuff. It's small dumb things that should not be that much of a problem for me, but for whatever reason, my brain just can't process it. Even there, when I did finally use my golden gun, I went for that first guy and got hit, and my immediate reaction, instead of hiding, was to try and get the guy that hit me, and I just gave him a perfect shot. So that's kind of the gist of what's happening right now. Day one is sort of that first step of the 12-step recovery process. It's identifying the things that are wrong so that they can be fixed. So today is stop being a fucking idiot, Dan. It's gonna be tough, but I believe that I can do it, and I do genuinely think that my skill level has improved. So that's a huge building block right there that will hopefully continue to get better. You know, continuing to lay that foundation is obviously a huge part of it. But just being a better shot is not being a better player. So I hope that as time goes on, I can continue to do both, become both a better, more accurate wielder of the weapons, and also just generally smarter Destiny player. So as we kind of fade out of this, this was the updated stats for DestinyTracker.com, so you can see them again, just to see the difference between the days. There's no real huge difference in anything, but again, if you'd like to just take a look, feel free. But like I said, this is day one. The foundation has been laid, and we are off on our journey together. So be sure to like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll have some more here for you soon. Bye.